Victor Day told People he received worrisome texts from Candace Florence on Sunday, hours before she and 2 other Americans were found dead of suspected carbon monoxide poisoning. The boyfriend of an American woman who died inside an Airbnb in Mexico City, where she was vacationing with friends to celebrate the Day of the Dead, has opened up about their final conversation. Victor Day, 30, began receiving text messages from his girlfriend, Candace Florence, 28, early Sunday morning at about 2 a.m. He told People in an interview on Wednesday, everything was good. She just said that they were out, they were drinking, everything was fine, he said. Day said he saw on his girlfriend's Instagram stories that she was out at what appeared to be a rooftop bar with fellow travelers Jordan Marshall, 28, and Cortez Hall, 33. They appeared to be drinking wine, surrounded by plants as the Mexico City skyline shone in the background. Hours later, the 3 friends from Virginia Beach were found dead of suspected gas poisoning in an Airbnb they'd rented in the La Rosita neighborhood of the Mexican capital. Mexico City authorities told Spanish-language paper El País they've opened an investigation into the incident and that they believe the American visitors died of carbon monoxide poisoning. A representative for Airbnb did not immediately respond to People's request for a comment. In a text message sent about 2 hours after she indicated that everything was fine, Day told People that Florence said she was tired and feeling very emotional. I write her, "What's wrong?" and she says, "I am just not okay. I wanna go home," Day said. And I write her, "You're not enjoying it. What's wrong though?" She says, "I feel drugged." And I say, "Where's Jordan? Are you home or out?" Florence said she had just returned to the Airbnb, Day continued. Although she told him that she hadn't taken any drugs, she said that because of the symptoms she was experiencing, "I feel like I took Molly," a reference to the drug ecstasy. "I am literally in pain," Florence said, according to Day. "I am like, shaking." Day asked if it was possible someone slipped something into her drink while she was out with Marshall and Hall, warning her, "If you didn't watch your drink the whole time, you may have gotten drugged." Her last text to me was, "I wasn't complacent," Day said of the text he received at 4:47 a.m. 3 minutes later, she FaceTimes me, he continued. "And that's when I clearly see she's vomiting. She's been crying. I mean her whole face was wet, crying or vomiting, or maybe she splashed water on her face." Day said the conversation continued before he dozed off for probably about 5-10 minutes. When he woke up, their phones were still connected, but now the phone screen is pitch black as if she put the phone down or the phone fell. But the camera side is facing the ground, he told People. "So I don't see anything." But I could hear something going on in the background and I put the phone to my ear, and it sounds like her vomiting or dry heaving, or both. Day said he recalled telling himself, everything's going to be okay. He believed if she'd been drugged, throwing up and then sleeping it off would help. Shell go to sleep. Shell wake up the next morning and Shell tell me all about what could have happened, he remembered thinking. And so that to me is what eats me up. Because knowing that I could have helped a little bit more, knowing that at that moment I probably could have called the police. I could have done something but instead I went to sleep. The next morning, Day checked in with Florence via text. How are you feeling? Is everything okay? He wrote. About 45 minutes pass, I don't get anything. And I started to think, I was like, well, it seemed like she did have a night. She's probably just oversleeping. After another hour passed, he said he started to worry. Something definitely wasn't right, he recalled thinking. And then that's when it clicked, Day added. Florence had shown him the Airbnb listing a month before her trip with Marshall and Hall, so he used it to contact the host. Something is terribly wrong. I need someone to check on the apartment, he said. He wrote to the host through the site. And we go back and forth for a little bit and eventually she tells me, okay, she's sending her security into the apartment. Day said that 10 minutes later the host wrote back, saying that they found all three of them in the apartment unresponsive without vital signs and that emergency services were contacted. On Monday morning, Day heard from the host again. She tells me that they were all pronounced deceased, he said. I refused to believe that they were dead. It seemed so surreal, it didn't feel real, he said. And so I began to ask her, did the police do anything? Did they try in Mexico to save their lives? And she assured me. She was like, oh, of course. Of course, they tried. And unfortunately it's too late. They've all passed. Day said he was sure the Airbnb listing said the rental had carbon monoxide detectors but wondered if they were not working. Florence, who would have turned 29 Thursday, was supposed to head to D.C. to celebrate her birthday with him, according to Day, who is now planning to visit Virginia Beach Toby with others who loved her. It's tough, he said. But I know Candace is looking down and trying to give me the strength. Florence was the owner of a company called Glow Through It, which makes candles with inspirational messages. The Make Her Collective, a group of local women makers and business owners from the Hampton Roads area, is now seeking donations via GoFundMe to establish the Candace Florence Memorial Scholarship and help Florence's family with funeral expenses. We can't imagine our community without her, and we know the world had big things in store for her, the group said. But not because she was given it, because she worked tirelessly for it, while still prioritizing self-love, rest, fun, and family.